Hi, my name is Kathleen and I make fruitcakes. I've made fruitcakes for over 30 years. I used to buy them, but they would be dry or taste burnt or just not good. So over 30 years ago I started making my own fruitcakes. And if you follow this recipe and not substitute something else for butter, you will get good fruitcakes. The spices make it great. And the rum or wine over your fruit 24 hours moistens your fruit, although it is moist if you get good fruit. Don't buy cheap stuff, because when you buy the cheap fruit, that's what you're going to get, is a cheap fruit cake. And butter has gone up terribly this year. Around this area, the cheapest is $5 a pound, and you need 2 pounds. But remember, don't cheap out. This you only do once a year. And you want something really good to celebrate with. And the fruit went up a little bit and things like that, but you still can make a real good fruit cake, maybe get about 9 out of my recipe. And you will enjoy it, I'll tell you, better than anything else you ever had. So try my recipe, but don't cheap out like I say, and try to get the big fruit. I have gotten my big fruit from an Amish store. I don't know if any other grocery store carries it. I don't like the little tiny pieces. I like the big fruit because I like fruit and nuts in there. But if somebody can't have nuts, you don't have to add nuts to this recipe. It's all up to you. But I use these regular fruits and not some exotic weird fruits. So try it, and I'm sure you're going to love it. This is the Fruitcake Lady, Kathleen, signing off. 2014, getting ready with the items for making my fruitcake. We have the baking powder and the spices and molasses, then candied cherries and pineapple, and the mixed fruit. Then we have walnuts and all the pans lined with paper already. And then we need 2 pounds of butter. And of course there's raisins and brown sugar. So it looks like quite a bit does go into the fruitcake, but it's well worth it. You only make it once a year, so splurge a little bit. You got nutmeg, mace, cinnamon, baking powder, allspice, and good Wisconsin butter. This fruit has the liquor poured over. Now I will put the paper, this plastic wrap over, and let it set till the next day. It has spiced rum on it, or in it. As you can see, this year I'm working in a smaller place, on a smaller table. I have my 14 eggs, my 8 cups of flour, and my fruit that was soaked for overnight or longer in liquid spiced rum. And I've got my butter, good Wisconsin butter. And down here I got my 2/3 cup of molasses. This is 2 pounds of butter. And then here I've got all my spices. And boy, you should smell this. It smells so good. That's what makes your fruitcake, is the spices in the fruit. The brown sugar is waiting. 2 cups and 2 cups, 4 cups altogether. So let's get started. Brown sugar has been added to the 14 eggs. Now I will add my softened butter. Butter has been added. Now I'll add my molasses and all my spices. Now I am adding my flour little by little as my oven is preheating 275, getting ready for the fruitcake. Flour mixed in. Now I will add the fruit. Fruit mixed in and now ready to go into the pans. Decorating the top so they can be baked. And these still have to be decorated. The finished product. 9 finished fruitcakes. And I can't say this is the end because now the cleanup comes. And all the pans and the bowls have to be cleaned. But happy holidays to all, from Thanksgiving on. Follow these recipes, what you need to make a fruitcake and how to do it. This is Kathleen's fruitcake that she's made for many, 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 many years. And it is so good. Fruitcake recipes have been handed down for many years. This one is Kathleen's own recipe that she's made for over 30 years. There have been recipes for light fruitcake, dark, with fruits without, with nuts without, strange fruits and exotic fruits, but this is the one that I think is the best fruitcake ever. And if you follow this, then you will get a good fruitcake. And when you are mixing the fruit with some rum, this time it was used spiced rum. Sometimes just regular rum or blackberry rum or something like that, or wine. And then when it is done, it is topped off with some good brandy or rum to keep the moisture in when it's wrapped, and it will stay for a long time if it's not eaten first. Now this has been made at different temperatures, well, at the same temperature, 275, but sometimes it takes 2 hours and sometimes less than 2 hours by 15 minutes. So you do have to watch your fruitcake. And please don't forget the water in the pan underneath the fruitcake, because that will keep the moisture into the fruitcake. And I hope you enjoy if you try this. If you follow the rules and what's put in here and you don't change anything, just remember, butter has gone up. The cheapest butter I have seen right now in the grocery store is $5 a pound in the area. And some is much more. But you cannot substitute a flavor. This you make once a year, so make it good. Here are some of the prices of the fruit in the Amish store. It goes price per pound, and then the item, and the cost of what you're getting, and the amount of what you're getting, 2.27, but it's $6.80 a pound. So you're going to have to figure this out yourself, but maybe this can help you when you go to your store to know the prices. I don't know, but it may be helpful.